Some time has passed. You can see here I've been prepping for starting the repair of my condo. Starting to buy materials. Stuff is starting to stack up in the garage. Just anticipation on trying to get this repair stuff started. We've been out of this condo since mid-January, and here we are in the first week or second week of April. Still no progress. It looks basically the same. Nothing has been done. Talking to people calling me back, chasing down people, contractors, talking to the building department, back and forth with them, trying to get some headway and get this thing started. I'm guessing that once we start, the progress to repair and be able to move back in is going to be roughly 8 to 12 weeks, hopefully less than that, but you never know. Once you line up a contractor, if you don't retain him, get him started, he could easily find another job and move on to that one, and then by the time you're ready for him, he can't get back to your job, so either you wait for him or you go back out and look for another contractor. But unfortunately with that, those contractors have to be licensed and own the building permit from the village. That's one of the stipulations. So it's not easy to just go from one contractor to another. They have to be licensed and registered with the state. But fortunately, guess what I got? I got finally a nice surprise. Let's take a spin around and see what it looks like. Oh, there's me, looking out, dazed from all the excitement. Wow. But anyway, what I have is a permit, finally a building permit from the village. Getting that licensed contractors lined up, mainly the plumber, electrician, drywall, painting, all those require permits or licensed contractors. And I thought the process was going to be 1 week, but it turned out to be 3 weeks in accordance with the village. That's how long it takes them to review an application. It's a really simple application, and with this market today that we're in, there's not too much remodeling or new construction going on. So why 3 weeks? I don't know, but that's what it takes. In addition to that, 3 weeks I waited. There was also another additional week for some reason going back and forth. So we finally got the permit. I thought I was ready to go, but then they tell me that I need to do a roof inspection, have an inspector come out and do a roof inspection. So I scheduled that. Inspector came out, did the so-called roof inspection. He said that everything looked okay. He gave me a couple of corrections that we'll talk about later. But then he said, well, I'm not the plumbing inspector, and I think the plumbing inspector needs to come out and take a look at this. Basically 2 bathrooms and a kitchen that the hot, cold, and drains have to be reconnected. Simple. That's it. I'm not modifying and I'm not moving anything. But he said he felt more comfortable to have the village plumbing inspector come out and take a look at that. So when I made the appointment for the inspector to come out, they said nothing to me about you need to do both a general rough-in as well as a specific plumber inspection. So that pushed me back another week. So here we are from mid-January to basically mid-April. We finally got a permit. I passed both inspections, got stickers for that. So now it's time to do some work. So let's just take a walk through what this place looks like beforehand, and then I'll start, hopefully, the way I understand it, the installation is supposed to start a week from now. And again, an inspector says, well, before you put up the drywall, I want to look at the insulation installed before you start covering up the insulation. Another stumbling block I have to wait for. So And the way they're set up in the village is that you cannot call the inspector. You have to make reservations to have the inspector come out, and you have to give them a 2-day or 48-hour lead time. So, for example, if I call the inspector Wednesday, he won't be out until Friday, and it has to be 48 hours. So that's it. So hopefully they're going to start with the installation by the latter part of next week. I should have all the installation up, the inspector okaying it, crossing my fingers, and we can start with the drywall. So I'm just going to progress through this room by room so you can see what everything looks like again before they start putting some effort to put this place back together. Hope you enjoy the video. I indicated earlier in the video that I'll come back to this, but these are a couple of findings by the inspector during his rough-in. Here, that's where the pipe originally broke that flooded my unit. He insisted that in addition to restoring the insulation that was there, that we add some additional foam insulation to help prevent that pipe from freezing in the future. So we're going to do that. And if you see that little string line up in the corner where I'm circling it right now, that is actually a light coming from outside. He saw that and he said that we should get some spray foam, seal that up to make sure that it's closed off and there's no drafts coming in there. He was concerned about that. So that was the second thing that he identified. A couple other things the plumber identified was that on my water tank, which really is intact, he suggested that I add an expansion tank on it, as well as take the this electric water heater, have the plumber contractor pull out the heating elements and replace the upper and lower if necessary. So those are the three things that were identified through rough-in inspection post receiving the permit.
I'll always show up and make a statement. Gonna learn the consequence of being incompetent. Mental health is confidence, dreams and some honestness. I'm not here to save the day, that's for you to take away. I could play a million mind games, but instead I say something not illogical, something that is topical. Rub it on and watch it go, make yourself unstoppable. Dreams are irresponsible, but they're always possible. If you just believe, you could be so remarkable. unremarkable. Thoughts in my head, a collage and they spread. I'll be great one day, going off of my meds. No, I'm not giving up, no, I'm not giving in. I will make it to the top, taking off in the wind. I gotta make it, I'm saving every day to taste it. I'm patient, but my mind, it can hardly take it. I'm chasing a dream that I've had for several ages. A vacant, modern kingdom for the taking. Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.